Season been for you?
It's been good. The coaches in the weight room, they got me right up my weight. I feel stronger in the field, feel quicker in the field, I feel better as a player in general. So yeah, off-season's been going good so far. I'm enjoying it.
How much weight do you think you put on?
I think I put on 10 pounds, 15 pounds since season was over with, and, muscle and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good.
What's the state of your pass rush right now?
Oh, I've definitely gotten a lot better. I feel more comfortable. I switch up. Definitely, I can rely on some power now. Because my freshman year, I wasn't really that strong, so I was relying on speed often. So yeah, nowadays, I just feel more comfortable, so I got more stuff in my locker.
What do you think of what do you think you learned from getting thrown into the fire last season?
Oh, mental toughness for sure. Definitely, it definitely toughened me up. It also allowed me to be a step ahead of the other freshmen. I can lead by example because they haven't really played on the field yet, so they don't really know how it is. So pretty much it.
I guess what are kind of your top priorities for yourself this spring and moving into the summer for you to personally improve?
Keep improving. That's one of my main priorities. I want to keep getting better. I don't want to hit a plateau. I want to keep on learning. Just go off my sophomore season, get a whole bunch of sacks. We didn't have a lot last season, so we had a lot, but not the D-line. So yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
What are your impressions of the defense? How it's coming along, especially redshirt freshmen?
We have, I think, I think Coach Howell's more comfortable. I think the guys are more comfortable in the system. Structure's been better. Fewer explosive plays. We got to get healthy at receiver too. So get our top end guys going against our top end guys. But on the whole, I think there's way more again structure, comfort, execution. When it comes to some of the emerging players like Darren Agu, you guys visited with. Continues to show up as a guy. Ethan Crisp, as an early enrollee, has flashed and done a nice job. You would expect C.J. Taylor and some of those veterans. Gumbo Gaskins is a guy that redshirted that I feel like's had a really good camp so far. And, we're, not quite at the midpoint. And so I think he's got a good base here. I think he's got to keep progressing. Trudell Berry is another one that's flashed at times. So we have I think the start of something there. Obviously, this is a side of the ball that needs to perform better for us as a program to move forward, and it's really more about finding a level of consistency there. I thought at times, we stood tall on defense and did well. Some games it was a lack of execution on third downs. Some games it was tackling on the perimeter. We got to be able to put it all together, and that's what spring camp's all about. So good foundation started. I feel better about where we are now, certainly than we were a year ago in fall camp even. Now it's about, putting the finishing touches on the spring camp over the next, 9 practices.
How does it help to last season you played a lot of true freshmen, and you probably won't have to rely on as many this coming season now that you have a bunch of redshirt freshmen basically who are ready to play. Do you think, what kind of impact do you think that's going to have?
Well, obviously, when you're playing a freshman, there's a positive in that because you got a young, talented player that's capable of being on the field. You're gonna take some lumps, and there's learning that's involved with the game reps. You benefit from that as you move forward, and this is a developmental program. Development's got to be the hallmark of what we do, and so we'll be at a higher launching point, and we'll allow our young players to kind of come along and matriculate into the program. But we're still a program where this is about winning. It's about getting the best 11 on the field, and so we didn't recruit anybody into this program telling them they're going to have a year off. We want every single player to be focused on finding a role for themselves and getting on the field. We'll provide them the opportunities to compete, and it's up to the veteran and returning players to maintain the hold on their positions and their roles in the program. That's part of being developmental and competitive. Is we need to get the best group on the field to give us a shot at that postseason play goal that we've set for ourselves.
What do you think of the secondary so far in the spring?
fewer explosive plays, tighter spaces and coverage. And again, I think we need to, I want to withhold total judgment just because, we have to get, Gamarion back and Will healthy. And, there's just, there's still some, I think offensively we're still bringing along, and getting healthy at our skill positions. Jay McGowan, who's not, practicing right now. So I've liked the structure, fewer explosive plays, and again, tighter spaces on the perimeter. Those are formulas for success, but I think we're still, being tested, and we'll learn more about, our secondary as our offense gets healthy.
Are any of those receivers, long-term injuries?
No. Jaden's the one that stands out as the longest term. He's been out really, since January, but he'll be back. Hopefully before the end of camp, you'll have a chance to do some individual and start working into some practice. And we expect him fully recovered, really by the time we're back in June. So all good, just maintenance issues, soft tissue kind of stuff where we just want to make sure we don't, create a situation where we miss extended time heading into the summer.
What's the status with transfer portal and where you guys are?
Yeah, we're right at 85 right now, and again, that number has a chance to obviously change, through spring. We just, we want to give these guys chances to compete, and we're obviously going to always be attentive to what's out there and also have an idea of where we have needs on our team. And then, we're going to pay attention to where our attrition happens and how we can best fill those gaps. So, right now we feel good about the team we have. Again, we'll get through camp and spend some time with our players just to make sure that everyone's on the same page about where we are, where we're headed. And then in the meantime, we're working to make sure that we understand where our needs are. And that way, when the portal opens up, if we need to address something, we can.
Do you have an update on Jake Ketchuk?
Yeah, he's got an ACL injury and he'll have surgery, and we'll expect him back as we're heading towards the end of the season and into bowl prep. But I hate that for Jake. He had a great winter and really stepped into a starting role last fall too, and thought he performed well. And he'll be back. Unfortunately for him, he had it was a kind of a freak thing where he popped it there early on in the first day of practice, but he'll be back, and he's got a good mindset, and we'll be excited for him to go through this recovery and be back stronger.
I'm not sure, maybe you've talked about this at some point, but with Logan Kyle moving to tight end, is that something that you guys had considered before this offseason, or is it just not having enough players at the position, or what was that?
Yeah, we've always felt like Logan has some traits that we'd like to see on the field. At receiver, he was having trouble with some of the bigger picture processing and just had never quite, cleared the hurdle. We had good speeds, good strength numbers. He actually approached it with us, and it's a credit to him to say, hey, this is an opportunity for me. And I think the first thing that we did was challenged him to say, hey, this is what that role is going to entail. Blocking and toughness, and needing to be courageous at the point of attack. And he didn't flinch and didn't back down. He's added weight. I think he's had a really nice spring. And again, we're projecting now, 6 months ahead. But I think if he stays this course, he's got a chance to carve out a role for himself in that, and doing things that we saw Gavin Schoenwald do a year ago, or the past 2 years, where he's an off-the-ball tight end, and with Logan, we feel like there's a speed advantage he gives us too, in some matchups. So I'm excited to see him keep progressing. I think obviously we have that need this spring. Need presents opportunity. He's capitalizing on that opportunity and maybe creating a role for himself.
Do you want him to add more weight than whatever he's listed at right now, or has he added the weight that you?
No, I think he's, I believe he's about 220 right now as we're talking, and I didn't check this morning, but I think probably by the time we're playing, to have that be 230 would be ideal, and he can do it. He's got the frame for it. it's just anytime you add a lot of weight all at once, it's usually not a good thing. So we're gonna be patient with that and let Julia and her staff really dig in and help him. But at 230, I think he presents the physical presence. He's got the mindset. He presents the physical capability to hold up at the point. And that's what we look for there.
That's it.
Good.
Thank
All right,
you.
guys.